Jessica Cepek, and today we're going to be talking about how to divide polynomials by a monomial. So here you can see a really basic polynomial. We have a plus b divided by c. So the first step you have to do is remember that a division is also like a fraction. So we rewrite this again as a fraction, a plus b divided by c. So the first step is you have to separate each term in the numerator and divide it by the denominator, like this. A over c plus b over c. So what does this look like with numbers? Well, let's use something really simple. We have 1 plus 3 divided by 5. This would be equal to 1 plus 3 divided by 5, or 1/5 plus 3/5. And if you see, if we would add this like a normal fraction, 1 plus 3 divided by 5 gives us 4/5. 1/5 plus 3/5 also gives us 4/5. So this is the principle that we're going to use for division of polynomials by monomials. So here we have an example of a binomial divided by a monomial. First step, we rewrite this as a fraction. 16x to the 5th minus 24 divided by 8. Then we break it up into two parts. Equals to 16x to the 5th over 8 minus 24 over 8. So from here, the next step is just to simplify by the numerator and the denominator. We have to see what factors they have in common. Here we see 16 and 8. So we would divide both by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 8 divided by 8 is 1. So that would leave us with 2 times x to the 5th. Minus, here we have 24 divided by 8, which is 3. Here we have an example that is slightly more complex. As you can see, it is multivariable, and we also have the variables in the denominator. So we just follow the same basic steps. So for the next step, you have to be really careful when you are simplifying, and you have to remember the rules of powers. So the first term, we have 25 over 5. That would simplify to 5 and 1. So we write that 5. Then we start with the variables. I have x cubed over x. Remembering that's x to the 3 minus x to the 1. So that would leave us with x squared. And then we have y to the 1 over y to the 1, or y divided by y, which would simplify to 1. So there would be no variable for y. Plus, next term, 15 over 5 simplifies to 3. X squared divided by x would simplify to x to the first power, or just x. And we have y squared over y, so y to the 2 minus 1 would leave us with y. Plus 30 divided by 5, that would give us 6. X divided by x, that would be 1. And y divided by y, that would be 1. So this would be our final solution. Okay, so here we have the final situation that is even more complex and a little bit fun because we have a negative in the denominator. So we start out with the same steps as previously. So working with the properties of powers and properties of integers, we're going to start this. We simplify this to 8 divided by negative 4, that's negative 2. X to the 4th divided by x, that would be x cubed. Y squared divided by y squared, that would simplify just to 1. Then we have a plus. Here we have a positive and below a negative, so that would be minus. We're going to make the line for this fraction. In the numerator, we have a 1 and the denominator a 4, so we're going to leave that 4 down here and proceed with the variables. So here we have x squared divided by x. the square would cancel out. We would be left with x in the numerator. And we have y divided by y squared. So using the properties of powers, we know that this y would cancel out, and this y squared would become a y. Then we have a negative divided by a negative. That would become a positive. We have 10 and 4. Both can be divided by 2. So we have 5 and 2. So we write that here. 5 and 2. Then we have x divided by x. That would be 1. Y squared divided by y squared. That would be 1. So further simplifying this, we would just rewrite it. We have negative 2 x cubed minus x over 4y plus 5 halves, which would be, as a decimal, 2.5. Final solution. Now, you guys, you're telling me, is this a polynomial? No. But is this the simplified form? Yes. So this would be our final answer. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And remember that the biggest mistake is not making a mistake at all.